Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Deb. Thank you so much for stepping in for Jeff. Hopefully, he will be able to join us a little later.
That would be wonderful, but it's always my pleasure to spend time with you, Andrea. Always.
I so appreciate it. I even bothered to put a little makeup on tonight and look human.
You look gorgeous.
Oh, it's hot here. I'm hot. I'm sweaty. I even brought tissues because they serve threefold. In case I tear up, they come in very handy. In case I cough or my sinuses drain because allergies, and sweat.
Right.
Yikes! Oh my God. Yeah, I just told my sister to put the air conditioner on because it's like 76 degrees in the house and it's just a little too warm for me tonight.
Yeah, a little sticky.
A little bit. But anyway, it'll be fine. And I so appreciate you hopping in to Soul School at the last minute. I think I sent you a message about 2 hours ago and you graciously accepted my invitation. And Jeff is stuck somewhere. I don't know where. He was not precise. So I don't know if or when we will see him. But if we do, there's plenty of room on the screen. And in the interim, I feel absolutely certain that we can handle any topic thrown our way.
Right.
And so one of the things, earlier in the week I was, anyway, classes in session. So, yada, yada, that. And I was in touch with him and I sent him, what I was thinking about in terms of doing. Hello, Diane. Thank you. Jonathan. Oh, see, now all our people, our tribe.
All these lovely people.
Here they are. Oh, that's so sweet. So sweet. And Lori, oh my God. We have people, Deb, I know you do too, but we have people from all over the world that watch this show and you don't even know. You have, thank you, from Pakistan. See, like I said. Yeah. It does my heart so much good to know that from a computer screen and a mouse that we can reach so many people. And that is so delightful to me, and also kind of miraculous. I'm still not over the notion that the web didn't crash when COVID hit. And everybody had to go to online everything. And it held up for us. So, it's, I remember, I don't know, we're both old enough to remember Y2K and how we thought that the interwebs were going to disappear at the change of the century. It seems so quaint now, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Oh my God. So I had a really, really good day. And I'll tell you.
Well, you look absolutely fabulous, so I have no doubt that you had a good day.
Well, thank you. I just want to tell everybody that has been following what's been going on, that my medication is working very, very well. I had a tumor in the side of my neck that is now gone. It's completely gone. Several of the other tumors have shrunken. Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids shrunken in just 3 weeks on heavy pills, like horse pills, chemo. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have to have the port inset in my chest. Right. We're gonna do this as I don't want that. I just no.
And it does help, and I want to put that out there because we have so many beautiful people out here listening. When they send prayers and healing and love, tons of it, keep doing it because it's all of it. That's why you came in.
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
Say it, Bill. Say it loud.
People in the chat room, the energy that we have here in this community is incredible.
It is.
I'm getting the chills literally talking about it because it's so true. And also, Annie, the power of holistic healing, what a person thinks in their mind, the positiveness. She said when we know at the beginning, before people really knew what was going on. Bill, I'm going to kick this in the you know what? I'm going to beat this. And look how he's in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks. So on behalf of everyone watching, listening, we love you. We're all behind you, and we're all sending out that positive energy and thoughts to you. And of course, also what your sister does too.
Yes.
Because she's an incredible human being as well.
Yes, she is. And after going through what we went through with Mom, and we lost our mother on the 12th of June. And 3 weeks later, I got this diagnosis. And my mother knew. She knew. But she couldn't do anything about it. She couldn't convince me to go to the hospital. She couldn't convince me that this wasn't anything other than a cyst that had gotten out of control, because I felt fine. And I didn't understand how a person's body could be riddled with cancer and they could function the way that I function. And I couldn't wrap my mind around it. You know, I really couldn't. Deb, you know, I mean, we talked about this. It's like, you know, I never even felt any fear. And I think it's because I never believed that this was going to stay in me, that this was a wake-up call, and that there are multiple paths to healing. And what has, you know, I've taken some time to do the show live recently so that I have that connection with my people all around the world. I mean, we have people that watch this show in Australia and Iceland and, you know, Western Europe and, you know, of course, our dear friend from Pakistan. And, you know, I mean, it goes on, and we have French people and British people and like global. It is global. Yeah. And all of us suffer. All of us go through something in life that causes us to suffer. Mm-hmm. And I think that process helps build empathy. It releases. Leanne, hi, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you so much, sweetheart. You know, I really do think that here in Soul School, and Deb, you've been on this show a number of times, and we're doing a full 2 hours tonight because the subject matter warrants it. But Deb and I talk like every day. And
she told me
because, you know, I have to have somebody that I can aggravate. You know, I've only got my sister and the dogs, and they're sleeping. So, you know, we've talked a lot, and, you know, Deb is a healer herself, and Deb has been healed, miraculously healed. And I think that it is perfectly okay and doesn't make us some kind of religious wingnut zealot to believe, to dare to have faith, which is what we talked about last week, to dare to believe in miracles, to dare to believe that thoughts are things and that we can heal ourselves not only with our own minds, but with the accumulated goodwill of so many others. And I said, you know, how human beings are always like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You know, OMG on everything. And it's so funny. And then I was thinking, I think it was last week, I said, if there's a God sitting on a throne up there and everybody is praying for me at once, that God is going to say, oh my me, what is going on down there? That all of these people are suddenly so interested in this woman. And maybe I better check this out. Maybe I just better take a peek in, you know, and I've made it very clear about my, you know, I've got my, I can never figure out. I really can't. Okay, I really can't. You know, everything's backwards. Fuck. Okay, so I've got Mother Mary over there, and I've got Mary of Guadalupe on the other side that my friend sent me from Peru. And with the magical leaves, the coca leaves, and I mean, I'm just surrounded by angels, and the gifts just keep coming. Okay, Bill,
I gotta go. You know why? Because my dog. I don't know if you hear him in the background.
I do.
He's going nuts over a raccoon in the backyard, and it's chaos over here. So, but it's always awesome to be with both of you. And now I get
We love you.
Beautiful ladies to continue doing what they do.
Okay, well, come back after the dog,
Yeah, we love you, Bill.
Love to both of you and everyone that's watching.
And everyone that's watching.
See you guys later.
Thank you. So, we've talked about these multiple paths to healing and the holistic approach and using our mind. But, for me, I think the most important thing is that from the moment I got my diagnosis, I was, my mantra, get the fuck out of my big, fat, fluffy temple now, get out, scramble for the nearest exit. I don't care how dark it is. Find your way out of my body. This is my temple.
Yeah. And if anybody doubts that, I'm here to tell you, this is definitely, truly Andrea's way and her words, because we say it together almost daily on the phone. I get to hear that all the time. And I love that attitude, because like Bill said, that's a big part of it. You didn't accept the C word from the very beginning.
No.
And you kept saying, no, I don't have time for that. No. And from the very beginning, you've been saying, get the fuck out.
Yes.
And it is. Yeah. It's leaving.
Well,
you're amazing. And what's happening is totally mind-blowing.
Well, I have an appointment with my oncologist next Friday. And I think she's going to be shocked. But, I set some boundaries, even with my oncologist. And I have two. I have one in Atlanta at Emory Winship Breast Health Center. And he's on the same page with me. And my attitude and his attitude and Christine's attitude when we met, and he said, yes, this protocol is perfect for you. Go forward with this, which gave me a certain amount of comfort. Mm-hmm. But more than that, I liked his attitude. And I said, I need to know that you are on board with me, that I'm going to kick its fucking ass. And he just laughed and said, yes, I am right on board with you. And I said, I know you're in charge of clinical trials. If this doesn't work, we find something else. Use me as your guinea pig. I will prove that one of your drugs is a wonder drug and that it has cleared this completely out of my body, because I have got shit to do. I've got places to go. I've got people to hug. I've got eyes to open. I have got third eyes to open. I've got stuff to do. I mean, and that's just the beginning. That's just the top of the list. I have 2 books to finish. I have another one to add something to and then re-release that. And I need to do all of that between now and the end of the year. Because why? Because 2024 is the paradigm shift. And this was my personal wake-up call. This was my snap out of it when I went through all that depression around losing my mother and let myself just cave into myself. 6 months ago, as you well know, I didn't care if I lived or died. I didn't. Now I do. And now my mother in spirit is strong enough to help me, not just identify that there's a problem, as she had her hand on my breast every day. I don't like this lump. I don't like this lump. Every day. She would just grab a hold of it and hold it and pray on it. And, and now she's free to help me.
Right.
You know, and God knows April's involved. April's always involved.
No doubt.
April's not involved with ever. That's my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I'm so touched by the outpouring of affection that I can barely talk about it without sobbing tears of joy. And Deb, it was you that said to me, Annie, you've put so much love out into the world and you've touched so many lives. What would make you think for a moment that they wouldn't be there for you in your hour of need? And I didn't really think of it that way, because I believe in altruism. I believe in doing good without expecting anything in return. That the doing good is the gift. The giving of the gift is the gift. And so it didn't occur to me. I mean, yes, I did ask my friends to please pray for me. Mm-hmm. Or whatever they do, whatever ritual they do, whatever energy they manipulate, whatever potions and spells they cast, whatever they do, it's all the same thing, and it's all love. It's all love. And what I wanted to talk about tonight, titling the show, One Day at a Time, One Day at a Time. And when we begin to live in the day, in the moment, in the present, and instead of getting up and opening the back door to let the dogs go out to pee, I step out with them and I raise my arms to the cosmos, because that's where I get all my universal health care, you know. And I thank the galactic family, and I thank all the higher ups. You know, all my friends in high places, all the energy, all the spirits, all the Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, oh great spirit, you know, God consciousness, prime creator, call it whatever you want to call it. It's there and it's real. And I know that because I feel it. I feel it. And I can go out, and it doesn't matter if it's a chilly, windy morning or if it's already hot, or whatever it is. I say good morning to the squirrels, and I say good morning to the freeloading chickens from next door who have already come into the yard to steal the bird seed. And we've got dozens of them. I mean, I don't know even where they come from. They just all show up at once, and the dogs are like, the chickens are here. The chickens are here. Oh God. And I can't help but go out, instead of doing that mundane thing that I've done for, you know, years of my life, letting the dogs out and feeding the birdies and doing all of that. And I do it with joy now. Just not like, okay, this is the first chore of the day. Let's get this done. And then I can go get my coffee in my suck it up buttercup cup. And, you know, and instead of just doing it because it's a chore or it's part of my routine, I do it with joy and appreciation, you know, real gratitude for the day that has been given to me, and no day is promised to any of us. Right. And when you face a life-threatening illness, I can't think of anything that makes more sense than to be defiant, but also to be humble enough to thank it for coming long enough to wake me up out of a stupor of grief that I was so steeped in that I couldn't appreciate anything. I couldn't. Everything was a chore. Everything was an obligation. Everything was, oh God, let me get this done so that I can nap for just a little while. Oh God, Mom needs me to come again. You know, and then that was my life as a caregiver. 24 hours a day.
Right.
Christine and I took turns sleeping, an hour and a half here, an hour and a half there, because mom was just frantic, and she was going through dementia, and there was a lot of, it's such a beast. It's such a burden to the person who's been afflicted by it, but also everyone else that has to watch it do its evil. And I feel like this is evil too. I also feel like I brought this on myself through several different ways. I brought this on myself because I want to be able to say this so that people can appreciate it and understand it. I let anger and my own emotions and sadness, grief, but a lot of anger rise within me. And it created a toxic environment. I didn't know that I could be so negative, that my emotional self had slipped down that hole, and I had to look up to see bottom. I mean, I was just in a really bad place, and I had to pretend that I wasn't, that it was okay, that I was okay, because I'm the eldest daughter, and I wanted to be the strong one for everybody else in the family as mom slipped away from us. And I didn't even realize what a toll that was taking on me. And you know better than anybody, well, you and Bill, know better than anybody how upset I have been for years over what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And that I feel helpless and hopeless to make any positive change. Mm-hmm. And I had to get that set straight in my mind. Mm-hmm. I had to, come to terms with that every good deed, every outstretched hand, every kind word, it does make a difference. And it might be incalculable and it might be immeasurable, but it makes a difference. And so I kind of did a reset in my own mind about how am I going to deal with this? And so I had to set boundaries, as I had said a few minutes ago, with my oncologist that was using words like incurable and inoperable. Don't tell me to make me feel better that you'll buy me as much time as possible. I don't want to hear that. I'll decide when I'm leaving this world. I'll decide that. And until then, I will fight with everything in my being, everything in my vessel, everything in my consciousness to rid myself of this horrific malady that I don't even feel. I don't feel. I should be having horrible side effects by now. I should be having, the list of side effects to the drug I'm on is as long as my friggin' arm. I got through like the first half page and I just closed the book that came with the medication and said, I don't need you. I'm not planting those seeds in my fertile ground. I am not planting those seeds. No. And I told my doctor that she is not allowed to use those words in my presence ever again. And she made a note of it.
Good. Because negativity, and we know, we've seen it for years, breeds negativity.
Yep.
So, what you're doing is you're bringing that positive in, you're bringing the love in. For the first time since I've known Andrea Perrin, I am seeing
go ahead,
you.
Talk. Don't just go ahead.
I am seeing you finally accept all of the love out there. You have always been the one to, like with your family, you have to be the strong one. You have to be the loving one. You have to fix things. And you see the whole world as your family. And I love that about you. I love that about you because you give so freely and so lovingly. But it has hurt my heart to see everybody loves you, but that love wasn't able to get in. You were so overwhelmed with everything going on in your own life, and that's understandable. I went through a lot of the same thing with my mom.
I know.
And it's horrid.
Horrid.
It's horrid. But at the end of all of that, to get the news that you got would knock most people right off their feet. But with you, with so many people loving you and needing you, you said, oh, hell no. Get the fuck out of my body. Get out of, how do you put that? Get out of my
Get
fat,
the
fluffy
fuck
temple?
out of my big, fat, fluffy temple now.
See, I just like hearing you say that.
Yes.
Yes.
You did. Well, because I use that word with emphasis.
Oh,
I use that word with purpose and reason. I use that
Yes, you
word
do.
because it's like punctuation.
Mm-mm. Puts that passion behind it.
It does. It does. And
Yeah.
I'm quite sure that these cancer cells are really, really afraid of me and think that they made a really bad choice.
They did. They didn't know who they were messing with.
They're all going to die. And you know me, I'll pick up a damn fire ant that got in the house that would sting me if it got the chance, and put it on a piece of paper under a cup and put it outside.
Right.
You know, but
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm just enjoying decimating these cells until there's nothing left inside me to reproduce. Just nothing. You know, and how fortunate am I that it hasn't attached itself to, you know, my lungs, but not my other vital organs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm very fortunate in that respect. So, Deb, I'm just not putting up with this bullshit. I'm just not.
I know.
No, and
I know.
it's so strange, you know, when I find myself walking these different paths, and a spiritual path that I've always been a very deeply spiritual person. As far back as I remember being a person, we were born and raised Catholic. You know, I always had a very special affinity for the Blessed Mother. You know, Mary, to me, she was the one that brought the light of the world into the world. You know, a message that has far outlived the messenger. And so, you know, a great depth of appreciation for her. And it doesn't matter how, you know, that story happened and I have my own feelings about that. I really do believe that somehow the galactic family is involved in all of this. I really do.
Yeah.
That's just me. You know, it's not a slight on anybody else's belief system. I want everybody to believe something that is meaningful to them, that brings meaning into life. And faith seems to be the jet fuel of our passion. To have faith and to have an ability to feel like our lives are meant for something, and that we each come into this world with lessons to learn. You know, that's what this whole show was founded on, was the notion that Earth is soul school, that our souls are here to learn how to love, to, you know, face the tests, and then learn the lessons from the tests. Instead, you know, in the reverse of what we consider conventional school. And this is the test of my life. This is the fight of my life for my life. And it hardly feels like a fair fight. You know, it really, I have friends that are like, I feel so bad for that cancer. Oh my God, what a terrible judgment. Oh, what an error in judgment it made. And
but that's what you need to do, and you're doing it. And
it's
you're
not
getting a ton of help.
It's not. A lot of people survive cancer.
Oh, absolutely.
And I really do believe that a lot of people survive it because they walk multiple paths to their healing. It's not just only this way, but not that way. It's not just Mother Mary or Our Lady of Guadalupe. It is, which is the same entity, the same being, the same light from different cultural perspectives, but the same. And that's why they're up there together. They're up there together with my mom and her urn. And, this room is just filled with light and love and angels. And I've been seeing flashes of light, not constantly, but every now and then, every day or so, something will happen where I'm just doing something very mundane and totally benign, and all of a sudden, like in a split second, a flash of light will come right in front of my eyes, and somebody's telling me, we're right here, we are right here, we're here, we are here, we're with you. Someone, something is telling me by literally manifesting in my space. And I know it's real because Peanut has seen it. And all of a sudden her head will just go like, what was that? Mom, what was that? And I had a dream the other night. It was so strange, Deb. See the door. There's two doors behind, and one goes out to the carport and one goes out to the back deck and into the 1/4 acre fenced in playpen. We have 2 acres, but a 1/4 acre is fenced just for the puppy dogs. And I had a dream last night that I was doing this show tonight. And interestingly, I wasn't doing the show with Jeff. I was doing the show with you. So color me surprised when Jeff called me and said, oh, Ann, I don't think I'm going to make it in time. I'm like, not a problem. Talk to you later. Yeah.
Let me call Deb.
But the dream that I had last night, and it was so real, and it was so lovely. It was so full of light. It was so pure. But in my dream last night, the door, this door right here, see that door? Something walked right through it. A being walked right through it during my dream and came and stood behind me for the duration of the show. So if anybody sees anything going on behind me, I expect them to acknowledge it in the chat room. Bill will put it up, or Lenny will put it up. Somebody will put it up. Any kind of activity going on behind me tonight, let me know.
Now we're all looking at the door.
Yeah, now everybody's staring at the door. Yeah, but unfortunately, Peanut has slipped into a puppy coma on the dog sofa, because usually she sits, and that's her right there. That's her recliner. It's Mom's recliner. But Peanut has turned it into her fainting sofa. Yeah. She has. It's this. Oh. Like, Peanut, I'm going out for 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Why can't I go? Why can't I go? Because it's raining and you don't want to get your toenails wet. Oh, well, I'll wait.
She's a little diva, but we love her.
Well, she's the love of my life, and I adore her, of the 4-legged variety. And, and she's a big part of my healing.
Oh.
She's a really big part of it because she's only 5.5 years old. I've had her for 4.5 years. And she's young and frisky and healthy, and Chihuahuas can live to be more than 20 years old easily with a modicum of care.
Right.
And they're just one of the longest lived breeds of dogs. And she was my gift from the universe. Just dropped her in my lap and said, you need a dog here. And now she needs me. And she just lost her grandmother, who she adored and worshiped, and went through her own difficult time after Mom left this house. Mm-hmm. And then went through more emotion when Mom came back to this house. It was the day that she saw her sitting in her recliner, and I was on the sofa, and I was facing toward the television, and Peanut just pounced right out of the chair and jumped up on the back of the sofa and just stared at the chair. And then, but her little tail was going 100 miles an hour, so I knew it was Spirit, because she doesn't like galactic family members. She does not. She has a real problem with that. We're working on that. But the Spirit, she's fine with. Mm-hmm. And she knew it was Mom. And then I felt Mom. I didn't even have to turn around and look. I felt her. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as she left, she stopped in, made sure everything was okay. I was doing okay. And then Peanut went and jumped right back up in that chair and plopped herself right back down. And she was just so excited to see her, because that's validation for her, in the same way that it was the first time that April appeared as a full body apparition in this house, about maybe 9 months after she passed away. And it was at Christmas, and Sammy saw her dog, Sammy, that we have, saw her. And he immediately just like hopped up like, there she is. And then he was so calm after that. It's not, he didn't wait at the window anymore. Mm-hmm. He didn't wait at the door anymore. Because months and months had passed, and the poor little guy just grieved and grieved. People don't always necessarily give their animals credit for having emotions too. Mm-hmm. It's part of the reason why we must always be kind and loving and gentle with them, because they love us so much. They love us unconditionally, and we must return that to them, no matter what else is going on in our lives. We have to take the time to remind them that they are cherished. And the more I thought about this, the more I realized that part of really coming to terms with the full nature of love is the pain that we suffer in a loss, or the pain that we suffer as we fight our own battles. And they're inextricably linked. Right. The way that I think that all human beings have empathy, but it hurts so much to have empathy that it's actually easier to squash that emotion. And it's not until we see something that's so horrific that we can't help but find ourselves being plunged into the shoes of another person who is suffering, who has just endured a horrific loss, a parent whose child was blown up in Kyiv, or a father who watched his whole family get blown away in Gaza, or what's happening in Yemen, or what's happening in the West Bank, or what's happening in Iran, or what's happening in Syria, what the fuck is happening with this world. And, my dad called me this morning, bless his heart.
Yeah.
And I told you immediately that, he was really struggling and really suffering. He's like, oh my God, what, he was a World War II child. He was born in 1935. So, like my mother, he was born into a world at war, and he doesn't want to die in a world at war. And one of the last things that my mother said was, I was born into a world at war, and I am dying in a world at war. And no one on this planet has learned a goddamn thing in her lifetime. In 84 years, what have we accomplished? What have we learned? What have we? When we say the words never again, what does that mean? What does that mean? If the same, it's like when somebody apologizes over and over again and you get to a point with that person because they're apologizing for the same behavior. I have on occasion kindly said to someone, that apology is meaningless to me because the behavior that prompts the necessity to extend it never changes. So if I accept your apology, but then next week you do exactly the same thing.
Right.
What was the apology for? Just to quell that emotion in the moment? Or was it an admission that I got a problem with this and I shoved it off on you and I'm sorry and I'm really, really going to try never to do that again? It's we've got this reset button in us now, where as we evolve, as we grow, as we spiritually make our quantum leaps in consciousness, we have to come to a point where, our empathy is as important as any other aspect of our ability to love each other and to feel each other's pain. And love and pain go hand in hand. In fact, I've always felt that the only true measure of love is the depth of the equivalent pain that accompanies the loss when there is a loss. The reason that most people who get a diagnosis like I get struggle and go through emotional turmoil is because of fear, because they're afraid of dying. Well, I'm not afraid to die. I just don't want to die. That's different. I'm not afraid to die. I know that we go on. I know I'll have other jobs. I know I'll be elsewhere. I'll be with my mom again. I'll be, I know.
But you have things to do here.
Right. Yeah. But I'm too busy to leave right now, and I needed to come to that awareness. I needed to, come to that place in my own mind where I had to acknowledge where this came from and know how to rid myself of it and to accept the embrace of countless thousands of people, some of whom I've never met and might not ever meet, and yet come to the realization that somehow I touched their life enough that they wanted to extend that caring back to me.
Right.
And it is just like, really, honest to God, I'm having a hot flash. That one really got to me. Okay. One of my friends this morning called me and she said, your new life is going to cost you your old life.
I like it.
I do too, because nothing about my old life even seems relevant anymore. No, it doesn't. I mean, my coming and my going and my traveling and my this and my that, and now it's 10 o'clock in the morning and it's time to take the horse pills and drink more water so that your kidneys don't shut down, and make sure that you don't eat too many bananas because of that potassium issue. And it's like all of a sudden my whole life is focused on how much water I drink, how much fresh air I get, how much rest I'm receiving, what I need to do to take care of myself. Deb, I've never done this in my life.
Right.
Ever.
Exactly.
Did I put myself first?
Mm-hmm.
There were way too many other people that needed my attention and my affection and my consideration.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is my paradigm shift. It is my wake-up call. It is.
Right.
But so anyway, I've been gabbing too long. So it's your turn to talk now. Say something just so inspirational while I suck down my coffee.
Well, I adore you. I love you to pieces. And I'll tell you, I love that saying about giving up your old life. And it's not that that part of your life didn't mean anything. You have done some amazing, wonderful things. I mean, I read the article today about the Conjuring House.
Oh, I'm so glad they mentioned my book and that they wrote an accurate article. I appreciated that.
That was very nice.
Yeah, I'm going to write to the publisher and thank them.
Oh, good. Yeah, you did a great thing there. But, it's all a part of the evolution. All of these things that you have done, wonderful things, were meant to be done, including writing your books. And look where it's gotten you. It threw you into the paranormal field that threw you into the ability to say, I love my galactic family.
Yeah.
And be accepted.
Yeah.
And you've done so many amazing things with that. But now, it's part of the evolution for everybody. And I think you being the great teacher that you are, and that's what this whole school is all about, you are showing people, take this, even though it appears to be a terrible negative, and you find the beauty in it. Because now you're living because you want to live.
Yeah.
6 months ago, I was very worried about you.
I know.
Very worried.
I know.
Now you're living mindfully.
Yeah.
And you have Mother Mary there. We have all of these different things from pieces of religion, but the whole mindful living is kind of that Buddhist path that I truly love. Although I was also raised Catholic. And a lot of people don't know this, but the mindful stuff is really, really one of my big things. So when you walk out the door in the morning and you throw your arms up and say, good morning, and feel so present, you feel them because you are in that moment.
Yeah.
That's how the body heals. Mm-hmm. That's how the soul heals. Yeah. And that's how the mind heals. If you get up in the morning, like you were saying, and you're thinking, oh God, okay, I'm going to get through this so I can do this, then I have to do, that's a whole different way of being. Yeah. And that's not nourishing our soul.
No. And I know that I will never be that way again.
Right.
I know. I've left that part of my life behind.
Yeah. And you won't be able to be that way again.
No.
Some people know, and you know, Annie, that I was told in 2007, go home and get your affairs in order.
Yes, I do know that.
You might have 6 months. It's doubtful, but we'll do the best we can to give you 6 months to get things taken care of. And I walked out thinking, okay, I have a few ways to go here. My mind is going, my sister had driven me. And on the way home, this was back in the days, we still had cassette players in the car.
Yeah.
And,
I remember those.
yeah. My sister put in pop. She said, just sit back and relax. I'm going to put in a cassette. And it was The Law of Attraction.
Mm-hmm.
So all the way home, I just let it sit with me. And I got home and I said, basically, this similar to what you said. Fuck you, Cancer. No, you can't have me. I'm a busy woman. I have children to raise. I still had my foster care home at that time. I had adopted all the kids, and I was not going to give it any energy. And went on to think positive, live very mindful, do my own healing, and here I am.
Yeah.
17 years later.
Yeah.
And you also know 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with not one, but 2 brain tumors.
Yeah, because you're like me, you don't do anything halfway.
No, if you're going to do it right. And that kind of went the same way. By the time they couldn't get me in for an MRI. Now, the CAT scan clearly showed 2 brain tumors. So I went from my primary care to a neurologist who said, oh, yeah, look at these right on the scan. This is something we need to get you in for an MRI. Well, it took months, I think 3-4 months. And in the meantime, I did what I felt I needed to do. I did a lot of Reiki. I did a lot of positive thinking. And when I went in for the MRI, they couldn't find the brain tumors. So, yeah, there is always hope. Where there's breath, there's hope. And the service that you are doing for all of the people out there listening right now is giving them hope. So you have gone from giving excessive amounts of love and light and kindness, and people just love to be with you. Now you're giving even more. You're giving that hope. You're giving people the realization. I dare people to, instead of popping in the Law of Attraction in your cassette player, pop in Andrea Perrin. Yeah, you're doing a great service. You really are.
Well, I just don't see the point in going through something like this without trying to help others get through their own difficulties, and it might not be the same kind of an issue, but, there are people who suffer in quiet desperation and who feel very much alone in this world. And I just can't abide that. Now, we all are here to help each other and to lift each other up and to do as much good as we can. Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of my favorite authors, I just love him, once said that, and I'm paraphrasing, that the sign of a successful life is helping even just one child. That if you can extend yourself on behalf of one other person, and especially a young person who needs that guidance and support, then you have lived a successful life. And it doesn't matter how much is in your bank account, and it doesn't matter, how big a house you live in, or what kind of car you drive, or how many books are on your library shelves, or what you have accumulated or accrued in life. None of that matters. Did you make a difference in someone else's life? Did you lift someone out of depravity? Did you do something to save a life? Did you do something? How many times have I said, we're all the walking wounded. Something traumatic or horrific has happened to pretty much anyone who gets to be a certain age. And just holding the door for someone, going into a grocery store and smiling, saying, "That's a great hat. You look fabulous. Here, let me hold the door for you."
Mhm.
You don't know if that person was so lost and so deeply in grief, so depressed, so anxious that they didn't even want to be there, and they didn't want, especially during COVID when everybody was afraid to breathe the friggin' air, and to take that moment, just that moment, and make that human connection can lift somebody up out of quiet desperation. And why not do that? Especially, why not do that when by doing it, you lift yourself up too? It's,
It's win-win.
It is.
It really is.
It is. Why are you huffing and puffing? Sammy's huffing and puffing because it's hot in here. Go tell mommy to turn the air conditioner on.
I thought Chris turned the air on.
Well, apparently she forgot.
Oh,
She's
Christine.
into a good book because I haven't heard it come on yet.
Oh, no.
No, he's all right.
Yeah.
He's settled.
Well, I've seen you sweating and dabbing the sweat, so I know
There's
it's hot.
my boy.
in here.
There's Samuel, who
Aww.
looks so lovely.
Oh, he's so cute.
I know, he's so precious. And Peanut, she's out like a light. She's just gone.
Yeah.
Oh, P. Once I put her blanket there. Oh, that was it. That was all she wrote.
Oh, my goodness.
It's just to have this time with you tonight. Oh, my God. What a blessing. What a blessing.
We need this.
Yeah.
UFO Con is in 1 week, a week from today.
I know.
And you won't be there in the physical because we need to keep you safe. But you will be very, very there.
Yeah.
You will be live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Lynn is bringing books, and I told her, anything you have of Annie's, bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it. And I'm so tickled that, she's so happy to do that. So you will be very present there. I hope to have you, if you're up to it, on the phone, on speaker.
Oh, yeah.
Friday night, probably on Saturday night as well.
Absolutely.
We'll do a healing circle and call them in as you always have.
As I always do. And they will come right there. And there they will be for everyone. Yeah. Just like I do, when I have groups of friends that are doing an investigation at the farmhouse, and one of them will call me and say, "Can I talk to you for 5 minutes?" And, can you introduce the spirits? And as soon as they hear my voice, all their gadgets and gizmos start lighting up like Christmas trees as soon as they hear my voice on speakerphone.
Right.
It's amazing. It's an absolutely amazing thing that happens, and it happens routinely. So I guess I just have an expectation that as soon as I talk to them, they'll know that I am there, at least to the extent that I am able to be there. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I introduce the group to them, and I ask everybody to be very respectful and kind and loving and gentle and genuine. And I go through my, my little bit of introduction, and I will do the same thing at Contact, the same exact thing.
And I am thrilled that you will. And I know everybody will feel it.
Don't be surprised if somebody walks up to you and says, "I saw Annie." Okay, don't be surprised.
I won't be.
Okay,
I won't be.
because
I fully expect that.
Yeah, I do have an inordinate ability, like a gift ability, to be able to astral project to a place that I want to be at.
Yeah.
And
I do expect it.
Yeah, it'll just go up.
Everybody will feel your hugs. Many will see you.
Yes.
Of course, you will be, again, live streaming, but you'll be there. So I wanted everybody to know that, many come to see you.
I know.
So
I know.
They need to know that your heart's there, your soul is there, your books will be there.
Yeah.
And you'll do something live stream.
Well, I will, and I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to do my thing. There's no question about that. But I want you to know, for anybody that's there and wants to talk to me, you just let them know we're on speed dial with each other. We are. And I will be free that whole entire weekend to make sure that I am available to talk to anybody that has anything to say or questions to ask, or, and that is before and after I do my speaking, part of it. And as soon as we can, I can clean up pretty quick. So, we'll do a recorded thing as well, so that, that might come in handy too, that you can set up at the table so that people can see what I have discovered in this last year since the last time that we were together. And, that pathway to enlightenment that helps with the awakening of the whole planet. Because what one is going through on that path, on that journey, multitudes are simultaneously. So by harnessing that energy and infusing it with that level of higher love, and it is higher love, it lifts everyone. It lifts everyone. I feel just sitting here talking to you right now like I'm like levitating in the chair. Like I'm not actually on the ground. I feel so much lighter and better, and I feel like beams of light are shooting out of me because I'm with you in a little square on a larger square.
Right. Well, we definitely have that higher love for one another and for everybody, the whole planet, our galactic family. And feeling that, especially when we're together, people, we've talked about it many times on different shows, how when we do contact, when we're there, and it's going to happen because your soul and heart will be there, things get crazy. We do not sit in 3D. We're in the fifth dimension. And we can't remember where we're going. We can't remember where we've been. We get off the elevator and we're lost. I order food and then I'm surprised when this food comes because I didn't order it. You know what I mean? So we get to go through that often, you and I together. So it's really fun when we get to take everybody with us.
I know. It really is amazing, especially in a building that I know so well. And yet, Lenny's like, I'm going to get one of those squeegee cords and attach it to your arm so that I can. Like, that's actually a good idea.
Right.
Actually, that's a really good idea.
Right, because Annie just goes floating off somewhere. Yeah, it's amazing. And I feel, even though we talk on the phone daily, being able to look you in the eye makes my heart so happy. So I was thrilled. And for some reason, when you called, I expected you to call and say, can you be on tonight? So it had to have been pre-planned by somebody. Thank you. Because I think they knew we needed this. We're family. And, I think everybody needs it. Jeff is absolutely amazing. I love him to pieces, and he will be at Contact as well.
Yes, he will.
But I think he got stuck because he was supposed to get stuck.
You literally took the words out of my mouth. He got stuck because he was supposed to get stuck.
Yeah. Hopefully he can pop in. But if not, thank you, Jeff, for giving us this time together. We needed this.
I know, we did. We needed this. And, for everybody that's watching, for everybody that's tapping into this, I want you to know how how deeply I appreciate your love and your kindness and your support and your generous spirit. How much I appreciate. I mean, it would just be so easy to just lay around and not really do much of anything. But I'm not made that way. I'm just not. It's not hardwired into my DNA. And I don't think of this, doing this show or a World Awakening, as an obligation or a job or, my commitment to KGRA, as much as I have very much a commitment to Bill and to this wonderful station. It's not that. I love my people. And this is my way to be able to be in touch, to just touch them through this technology that is still boggles my mind. I still can't even believe that we can do this. I mean, it's just like, I'm a techno idiot anyway. I have to have Christine set the whole thing up for me every week and find it in the emails. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. But once it's up and running and I hear Bill's voice, and then I get to see you, or I get to see Jeff, or I get to see, any one of my guests. I have not been doing a World Awakening because, quite frankly, I feel like Soul School is part of our world awakening to itself and to our own power to affect positive change in the world. Mm-hmm. And I want to, for those who are struggling, do my part. Not to say do it my way, do it your own way, but to, set an example of how you can be a spiritual warrior for peace, how you can be defiant in a situation that calls for war. And I'm like the most peace-loving person on this planet, but I have no qualms about going to war with a disease that has decided to intrude in my body. No. So if that gives somebody else a little spark of strength to get through, sometimes late at night, and that's when the fears creep into our consciousness, and we start to think about, why am I here? What is my purpose? How long will I be here? That sense of being here temporarily kind of creeps in, that none of us are promised tomorrow ever, which is why COVID, I think, leveled the playing field so much. When all of humanity had to face its own mortality simultaneously and not know if this virus was going to bypass them entirely or kill them. Not know if walking down the street, just breathing in morning air, and you pass someone who is a host, doesn't even know they have it, and you share some air, and suddenly you're on a ventilator in a hospital. It was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. It literally altered the vibration of the planet. The gigahertz and the megahertz and how the planet vibrates. It shot through the roof. I mean, there are scientists who measure these things. And, planet Earth generally vibrates between, well, if I get the numbers right, 2.7 and 7.9 gigahertz or megahertz. I can't remember which. I should have written it down, but it's one of the two. And during COVID, the vibration of the planet was averaging 240 to 270. Okay. Going from here to here, you know, and that was fear. That was fear and grief and sadness and loss and terror. And we were less afraid for losing our own lives than for losing our loved ones to this. And now, 3 years later, everybody's like, what, COVID? Well, it's still here, folks. It's still here. We learned to live with it. No, we got our vaccines and, well, some of us did anyway, and have gone on about our lives. And we basically just hope for the best. I've had it 4 times. I mean, if I don't have some immunity to it now, I'm never going to have any. So right now I'm focusing on what is the most emergency that I have to deal with. And it requires all of my focus, all of my attention now on me to cleanse and clear this out of my system and go on with my life. And I know that it's a process. And I know it's not going to happen overnight, but it is going to happen. And I am absolutely certain that I'm not leaving. I'm not even remotely ready to leave. And I feel like I get to make that decision. It's my vessel.
Right.
I get to make that decision.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing about COVID, Andrea, and it works in the same way as it's done with cancer, is it taught us to live mindfully. You know, it had many negatives, but it balanced out with positives. Yeah. We learned to love in a whole deeper way.
And to appreciate our lives, not take everything for granted all the time.
Exactly. And every moment matters. And that's being mindful. Stepping outside and greeting the sky in the morning. That's being mindful. You're in that moment. And it taught us that, you know, and that's a lesson that, you know, Jesus tried to give us and Buddha tried to give us. And, you know, we need to learn this. Yeah. I go to the senior.
I love that you do that
every week. And I do mindful movements and mindful meditation with the elderly. And, you know, some are not a whole lot older than I am, but I can still do that. And I think it's so important. And even to see somebody with dementia realize that in this moment, everything is beautiful. In this moment, my body is happy. In this moment, I'm alive and breathing. That's what it's all about. We're here now. So the name of the show tonight, Living One Day at a Time, is so perfect because that is what you're getting across to people. Same thing COVID was trying to do. Sooner or later, as a population, we'll get it. But it's, you know, we learn slow. We're humans.
We are. And we are a slow learn and a slow burn. And, you know, I mean, it's our spiritual evolution, our great awakening is not something that happens overnight.
Oh, no.
It's not. And yet every morning I go outside and I just look up and I always look into the north sky because that's where my vessels always hang out. I don't know why. They just do. And I start seeing the flashes. I start seeing the lights. And I'm like, good. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. And it doesn't matter who I'm talking to. It doesn't, because if everything is one thing and everything is energy and everything is consciousness, and everything is existence as we know it, then it's equivalent to saying, hello, Mr. Squirrel. Sure, go ahead, pilfer all the bird seed. I've got more. Go ahead. And listening to the dogs laugh at me like, why are you talking to that squirrel? You could be talking to me. You could be touching me. And the interaction with nature. The interaction. I mean, I love this planet. I don't like what happens on it all the time.
Right.
But I love this planet.
Mm-hmm.
It is a living, breathing organism, teeming with life. And every creature has value. Everything has a right to be here. If it's here, I mean, Chris and I saved 3 little baby squirrels last week when they fell out of their nest, and they were all so injured, and oh my God, and we didn't know if we were going to be able to save them or not. And they were just the tiniest little things. And, I'm like fresh off this diagnosis, and I've got the timer set on my phone to get up with the dropper to feed the babies every 2 to 3 hours, around the clock. And I'm like, okay, so apparently I wasn't quite done with caregiving.
Right.
I had that time with mom, and now I'm as available to these 3 little innocent baby squirrels. Meanwhile, I'm suffering as I stand at the kitchen window and I'm watching their mother look everywhere for them, searching everywhere for them. And I knew that they couldn't be returned to the nest. It was too high up. It was in too dangerous a place. And they were all injured. And so Chris and I spent, I guess we had them for 3 or 4 days. And I was exhausted. And they're like, we've got them in a big bird cage, and they're all piled up together in these, fluffy blankets that Mikey Thompson sent me for the dog beds that became squirrel bed. And I mean, they would literally, I'd open my eyes and one of them would have his hands on the bars like, I'm ready. I'm like, you were the one that was sickest. You were the one that was most hurt, and you're the one that's most hungry now.
Right.
I developed this fabulous relationship with these 3 little babies, and I just wanted to raise them up and release them out so that their mom could see them again and so on. And Christine's like, honey, they need more than we can do for them. And she called the Department of Natural Resources and got connected with a vet who is a rehab center about an hour away from here. And she packed them all up. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there, I'm crying. My babies are leaving.
She did.
Oh, my babies are leaving, and mommy doesn't know. And I mean, I went through this separation thing with these 3 little baby squirrels that, I was cuddling in my neck, and Christine's holding on her chest so that it'll keep breathing because it was so badly injured. And when she took them to the vet opened the cage, and they were all piled together, and she examined each one of them, and she said, how far did these squirrels fall? And Christine said, at least 30 feet. At least 30 feet to the ground. And they had blood in their noses and in their mouths, and we thought they all had internal injuries. And she ran them through an x-ray, and she said they were okay, and cleaned them all out and got the suction out and fed them the right proper nutrients. We were giving them kitten milk. That's all we had to give them. Well, that's not what they needed. They had what they needed. And they're thriving. They're thriving. Soon they will be released together, all 3 of them, into the forest. And I'll never see them again.
But you saved them. Yeah. You saved them. And I think that you, at that time, needed to know that you're still needed.
Maybe. Maybe.
When you called me crying because you had to take them to the rescue, my heart just broke for you. But I also had to thank our galactic family and the powers to be, whoever, whatever, because at that time I felt that was exactly what you needed, was to be reminded that you're needed by many beings on this planet. And love goes a long ways. And you and Chris, bless your hearts, you loved them to life.
Yeah.
You really, truly did. When you called me about number 3, I said, oh my God, Chris found another one and it's so bloody. And I thought, oh no, this one is not going to make it. This is not going to go well.
Yeah.
But it did. They're thriving. They're doing great.
Yeah.
So,
and they're all together.
They are together. They're where they're supposed to be. And you made that happen, you and Chris. So bless you guys for that.
Yeah.
I know it was hard.
It was, but it also would have been selfish to keep them, even though we would have done our very best and they might have done fine, but they have so much better chance of living long, healthy squirrel lives.
Yeah.
Where they are. And, with doctors and with people who know exactly what to do to help them in anything that were to come up. Or, if one of them had we checked and I didn't see any broken bones, which is amazing for the distance that they fell.
It's a miracle.
But, they checked them over thoroughly, these tiny, tiny little creatures. And how they loved each other. Deb, that was the thing that was so touching to me, was when the third one, he was just about dead when Chris found him. He had flies all over him.
Yeah,
he was
told me that.
Dead. And she held him and held him and held him and rocked him. And we prayed together for him. And he was the largest of the 3, but certainly the one that was most injured. And when she thought, okay, he might make it and he'll do better now if we just put him in with his other brother and sister. And they crawled together. They were all over each other. The other 2 that were a little stronger immediately covered him and held him close, and they were rubbing each other's faces against. It was so precious. And I was sitting there watching it and thinking, could anyone doubt that love is universal?
Great.
Could anyone doubt that love is universal?
I know I don't. Yeah. It's beautiful, a beautiful story. And what you guys did was amazing. But, it's kind of mind-blowing to think of other little creatures. Even, I know you've seen the videos with elephants. When one of their loved ones passes, they weep. They have like a ceremony. They all circle around the one that passed and they cry and they bow. And it's so terribly emotional that, we know if we get emotional over that, what are they feeling? And all creatures, I have no doubt, all creatures have this type of love. Yes, love is so universal. So universal. And it's, in our evolution, let's hope that it does continue to cross, human saving squirrels and different beings like that. I have a really quick story that this
And Chihuahuas saving humans.
Exactly. And I wanted to say earlier, that little princess, she did save you. She was there for you. You saved her, but she was also there for Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was also a part of her purpose.
Yes.
So a few weeks ago, we were doing a yard sale outside of our little metaphysical store here.
Which is gorgeous, by the way. And anybody that goes to Houghton Lake needs to go to your store.
Thank you. Yes, you've been here more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had some dog items out there because, all of us, we love our animals.
Yeah.
And a man came and he was looking at some of these items and he got talking about, the fancy things that we have for our dogs now. And he looked at you. I think you know Beth Gilmer. I know you do.
I do.
He looked at her and he said, "Since when did dogs become humans?" And it's, well, maybe humans are becoming dogs, but it's time for us to learn to respect them. Yeah. Well, back when I was younger, if a dog misbehaved, you take him out and shoot him. My heart just broke that. And I do remember those days. I really do. I mean, I'm old, but that wasn't that long ago. 20, 30 years ago, probably, that was an okay thing to do.
Yeah. People
would get a pet and leave it tied in their backyard with a doghouse and maybe a bowl of food and water. Thank goodness we have evolved past that. Yeah. And we realize, you can't treat anything. Yeah.
Once you accept an animal into your life, you'd better be willing to accept that animal as a member of your family.
Exactly.
I will never understand how anyone could abuse an innocent animal or an innocent child.
Right.
How anyone could do harm to something that is so pure and gentle and loving. And I mean, anybody that could not only doesn't deserve that creature in their life, but barely qualifies as human.
Right.
As far as I am concerned.
Right. Yeah.
I cannot relate to that. I was born with an ability to communicate with animals. Actually, all of us were. My mother and my father, definitely. My father, oh my God, if he gets within 500 yards of a dog, it sniffs him out and goes, I would like to go meet Mr. Barron. Over there. He's over there. Here, let me drag you on that leash, or just let go of the leash and I'll come back, but I need to go meet him. I mean, it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he can feed birds by just filling his hands with seed and just standing outside, and here they come. I mean, it's one of my earliest memories of Dad was feeding the birds when I was a little itty bitty, like 4 or 5 years old. We were just talking about that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an affinity that we have with animals, and I'll tell you why. Oh, she's upside down dog. Oh, she's the upside down dog. Oh, your tongue's hanging out. Oh God! Oh my God! It is. We're not from here. We're not from here. I mean, I think that the reason why I am so puzzled and left with feelings of contempt toward too many earthlings that harm and abuse and neglect and make war on, for no good reason. And I can't relate. And I feel like there's nothing I can do. The world is filled with dictators, and no shortage of dicks, if you ask me. And I mean, it's the beginning of the word. It's like,
Yeah.
Bathsheba starts with bat, so and I can't relate because I'm not from here. And I don't think anybody in my family really is. I mean, if you've seen my father's eyes up close. Don't tell me those are eyes that belong to the average human being, okay?
No.
And my mother was the same way. The same way. And two green-eyed, hazel-eyed people had 5 girls, 4 of which had bright blue eyes. I mean, we're not from here.
No.
We have, I mean, they're going to do some genetic testing on me in a couple of weeks. And I'm like, oh God, they might find out things. I'm not really willing to share right now with my doctors, but I don't feel, I feel like I'm on this planet, but I am not of this planet.
Right.
That wherever it is that I come from in the cosmos is a place of peace and hope and kindness and generosity and compassion and light and pure love. Pure love. And that is my essence. And the reason that I got sick was because I let some of that contempt brew in me for too long. For too long.
Right.
I held on to the anger. I held on to the pain. And it found a home in me. And now it has to leave. Mm-hmm. Because now I know why this happened. Otherwise, why was I perfectly healthy for 64 years? Mm-hmm. And then in my 65th, suddenly I'm not. Mm-hmm. As all of this piled on together, one thing after another, then mom, now this, now in this year. I don't know if I ever discussed this. I don't remember if I ever discussed with you years and years ago how pivotal I thought that 2024 would be. But since I was a child, I knew that this year was going to be a year of awakening, a year of the illumination, mm-hmm. that it would come to pass, that the paradigm shift is underway. And on the other side of this, nothing will be the same. And I don't know if that applies just to me and my family, or if it applies to the whole entire planet, or just our country. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I'll literally have to wait to get to the end of the year, which I certainly intend to be here.
Oh, absolutely.
To see, how this all resolves itself, to be mm-hmm. able to reconcile everything that happened this year, to come to terms with it and to see on the other side of it. But I know for myself and for everyone who has reached out to me, who has touched me in my time of need, that I promise that I will be here to go through this transformational period with you. I will be here with you.
We're holding you to that.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I do recall, I believe we talked about that.
I do believe that we did a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago.
Yeah.
There's something about this year mm-hmm. that I have known since I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Yeah.
That this would be the year. And I remember as a child thinking, wow, I'll be really old then. Well, I'm 65. I'll be 66 on October 10th. And I feel young and vital and strong. And in a way, reborn.
Yeah.
In a way, kind of reborn, not in the conventional evangelical,
right.
Not that kind of reborn. Yeah. Reborn into my own consciousness, to my awareness of my own existence, to my purpose and reason for being here, what my mission is.
Yeah. Or reawakening for sure.
It is.
Absolutely.
I never felt asleep. I never for one moment felt like I was sleepwalking through my life. But this is an entirely different perspective. This sheds all new light on life for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does.
Well, and we talked about that earlier. You spent your life giving all that love, and you hit this point with everything that's going on where you have to accept all that love. So you're realizing it's not that you were ever asleep. I mean, I cannot imagine Andrea Perrin ever asleep, even in your deepest sleep.
Always aware.
Always aware. But it's a new awareness that goes for you instead of always for the world. Realizing that you have to take care of this to take care of this.
Well, my first compulsion was to reach out to others who we know in this field who are suffering the same malady. Whether it's our darling, precious little Shaylee, Daniel's daughter, or whether it's Chris Fleming, who's facing his whole different, it's cancer, but it's a different kind. They're attacking it a different way. Tim, what is it that this awakening is happening in this way to so many people in the paranormal community at once? I mean, it just seems like it's everywhere. And, while we're each busy dealing with our own focus and our own problems and our own healing and our own attack in this battle in a war we have to win, we're also reaching out to each other.
Yes. Yes. And that's one of the most beautiful things about the paranormal field. And I think that's a big part of this whole evolution. Not that we're the only ones that matter, but in this field, if somebody is down, everybody is there to pick them up.
Yep. Circling of the wagons. Yeah.
Right. We show mostly, not saying there's never drama there, we know all of that.
We all,
but on the bigger stuff,
big picture.
The big picture, we are a unit. We're united. We work together. We step up when someone is down. It's a beautiful, beautiful group of people, and we're so blessed to be a part of it and to have what we have.
I know.
I can't imagine living in the other. It's like there's a big division. Is it good? No, it's not good. But I think that this evolution is showing us how to be mindful and united.
And be joyful.
Right.
And to have supersonic hearing that is so precise that you can hear somebody calling for help without them ever saying the word out loud.
Right.
Oh. Wow.
Yes. Yes, we just know. And, RJ has been saying for a number of years that part of this evolution is, as humans, we will learn to communicate more. We do it now, but more telepathically.
Yes. I absolutely agree with him. I already think that about 90+% of human communication is telepathic.
Absolutely.
Especially for those of us that are really connected. How many times you wouldn't be able to count how many times your phone rang as you were picking it up to call me, or vice versa.
Almost daily.
Almost daily.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That is so true. But, it's the becoming aware of what's going on, becoming aware of this evolution and what to expect. I think it's wonderful. And you're glowing. Oh my God. Isn't she glowing? I love this.
I have good lighting.
Truly are.
Good lighting tonight. Or somebody standing behind me that walked right through that door.
Well, I don't know about everybody else. I haven't been looking at the chat, so I don't know. But I've seen like glimpses.
Have you?
Flashes.
I'm seeing the flashing, the soon. Like just like it just in a split second, a light going in front of me. And I know it's not my eyes playing tricks because Peanut sees it too when she's awake. She's in a puppy coma right now.
Bless her.
Because, the body massage that happened before the show was just relaxing enough. I even invited her to be, my co-host on this end tonight. Nah, it's nap time.
Do you blame her?
No, I don't, because she's so happy. She's happy. She wakes up every morning like, it's a new day. Oh my God. And the sun is up, and oh my God, the squirrels, and oh my God, the chickens are here already. And oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And how could I not feel joy, be uplifted? But when COVID first hit, and I mean, it knocked me flat. It did. I was so caught up. I should have been more prepared than anybody. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know what it was.
Right.
But I knew something huge was coming. And having her laying on that bed with me and opening her little brown eyes and staring at me every morning like, is it time to go out yet, Mom? Is it time to go out yet? And she was the reason I got up. She was the reason I went outside and ran around the backyard with her and let her play and play and play and play and chase the squirrels up the trees and play and play. And then come in and make her a nice breakfast and have a nice cup of coffee and just have purpose and reason for that day, when it would have just been easier to just stay in bed and just roll over and try to go back to sleep and not think about what the world was going through, especially the first few months. It was awful. It was awful for me. And she was the only thing that put a smile on my face. The only one that could make me smile and make me feel lighter and make me feel like it was all going to be okay. As long as we stuck together, it would all be okay. And she would just look at me when I'd yell at Dad, and he's like, I'm going to Publix. Put your mask on. I don't need a mask. Put your fucking mask on, old man.
Oh, I remember that. Oh.
Now. And here's another one to put over that one. I told him several times, I was like, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to kill you in your sleep. No, I'm not. I'm going to wake you up so you know who's doing it.
But
out of your misery, all right? Right out of your misery, you stubborn snot. Oh, my God. I mean, he just, I don't get sick. I'm impervious to sick. Don't make me punch you. Don't make me do it. And
he did get it only once, I think, though. Wasn't it only once?
What?
That Dad got COVID,
Yeah, no, Dad got COVID like 3 times, I think.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, he
Well,
just.
I remember the first
Arlene
time.
just got COVID like 3 months ago.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then he
But
had
back
it.
then.
He had it when we went and did some filming up at the farm. It was on March 10th of 2020. And we had to do filming of a documentary up there, or a show. I think it was for the CW. I'm not sure. There's so freaking many of them. But unbeknownst to us, the entire crew had been exposed when they were in California and brought it to Rhode Island. And the next day, that day, when we got back to the hotel, when we were done filming, and the crew and we were all staying in the same hotel. We were all the place. Dad had no appetite at all. He just didn't. He had low back pain, which he never has low back pain. He just didn't feel well. And he went to his room. And on the way to his room, he picked up a green apple at the desk. And that's all he ate that night. He had no appetite. He had a raving headache. And I'm like, oh, great. Dad's sick. And that night was the night that the World Health Organization declared a global pandemic. And the next morning we went to get on our plane to come back to Florida. And it was a full flight of 186 people were booked on that flight. And when we got on, the flight attendant said, take any seat you want, because you're the last ones to get on this. And there were 24 of us, including a flight crew of 6.
Wow.
And we thought, this is serious. This is serious. And I mean, TF Green, which is a fabulous little airport in Providence, it's usually a pretty hopping place. It's not busy like Logan or LAX. It's not like that.
Right.
But it was a ghost town when we got there. There was nobody there. And I thought, okay, all right, this is serious, really serious. And we got home and we stayed home for about the next 3 months. Except for the occasional trip to the grocery store, which he's like, you're not going, I'm going, and he's 22, 23 years older than I am. Yeah. I'm like, I'll go, Dad. I'm younger and I have better insurance, from Fried Green Tomatoes. And he remembers that line.
Oh, yeah.
It's, man, she is great. I'm younger.
Great show.
No,
Great movie.
I'm older and I have better insurance. That's what it was. But yeah, I mean, I thought he was going to go stir crazy. I thought he was going to make me lose my mind. Because Dad's like, let's go. And he's like, I'm losing money. I'm losing this. I'm losing that. Well, within a 2-week period, every single Paracon for that year was canceled. Yeah. Not postponed, canceled. And my income for a whole year was just gone, evaporated in 2 weeks. It was gone. Yeah. I'm like, okay, we have to get through this some way, somehow. Princess Peanut Buttercup. Yeah. Got both of us through it. We laughed like idiots. I mean, she's just a clown. Right.
She definitely brought meaning.
I know.
And excitement and all kinds of things to your lives.
I know. She's, oh my God, she's upside down dog. Bill, come back onto the screen for a minute, honey. So you can say good night and goodbye to everybody, because where is he? He's probably still trying to pull his dog off the raccoon.
Probably. He did pop up a minute ago and told us where.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Right.
Hi. Okay, I'm going to get the peanut. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm
going to get the peanut to say goodnight to everybody.
So
there she is. Oh, I said her name and then she opened her eyes.
You got Michigan UFO the conference coming up, right?
Yeah, next week.
Tickets still available?
They are. www.miufocon.com.
It's the best con in the whole country. It is. I'm telling you, it is.
Thank you, Annie. And she always says that when she speaks there. She always says.
I mean,
Hi,
it's certainly the most healing, the most enlightening, the most effervescent, the most 5D, the most everything. I mean, it's just it's so amazing. This is my baby.
Yes. Hey,
this
Peanut.
Buttercup
So
is my
precious.
baby. Oh my God. Leave some lip lard on the mama. Okay, there's my baby.
Well, I wanted to say your dad also turned to mush with that dog. She totally melted his heart.
Yeah, big tough guy. She's got him completely wrapped around this floor.
Maybe on the next show, I wrote a song, lyrics. The AI made the music, and I called it My Best Friend, and it's all about my dog, Tycho.
Aww.
So maybe on a future show, since we're pet lovers, and it's not even pets, they're family. Period.
They are.
Done.
They are.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a little of that. So, Annie, you're going to be part of the Michigan UFO conference.
Yes, I am. I am going to be available to anyone, anytime for the entire duration. Deb already knows. Anybody that she walks up to her and says, "Oh, I wish Annie was here. I would love to talk to her." Call me. I will be available that whole entire weekend. I won't be doing anything except waiting for the next call and then doing my virtual thing. And we're going to try to get something recorded as well. Mm-hmm. So, we're getting together.
And she will have a banner set up with her table and her books and whatever else we can muster up. For sure.
Well, we've got less than 2 minutes, but again, everyone that's watching, thank you for being here. And of course, your support, Annie. But also, don't forget Mystical Awakenings.
What a show!
Deb and RJ on Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mystical Awakenings.
Every week.
I know. It's wonderful. I love you both with all my heart. I love you all with all my heart. It's literally keeping me alive. Love is the answer to every single question. And so none of us can afford to forget that. And so on that happy, hopeful note, I bid all of you a good night and class dismissed.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.